All right, I'm here at North Texas RPG Con with Courtney Campbell of Hack and Slash Publishing, one of my favorite bloggers and writers. I bought a bunch of his stuff, and I'm doing one question interviews today. And my question is, all these creative people that I've ever known always have tons of ideas, but what about a particular idea excites you enough to decide that you're going to spend the time working on it?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Courtney Campbell, like you said, author of the Negative Space Trilogy, On Downtime and Domains, Artifices, Deceptions, and Dilemmas, and Bestial Encounters, created by Monstrous Inhabitation. If you haven't bought those, you should check them out. Like you said, I run the blog Hack and Slash, and this is a great question because there are no shortage of ideas. The idea isn't the thing. It's really the implementation. And when you're making a decision, it's going to sound a little dry here, but it really has to do with market research. If I'm going to do something, because I do this full time, if you're just a hobbyist, it doesn't matter, right? But I've got projects that I want to do that, well, there's just not a market for. So those go by the wayside. Those are things that you have to be willing to take a loss on. When I'm deciding what idea I need to do, I look at what I'm well qualified to do, right? So my latest project is Sinless. It's a clone of Shadowrun, right? And the reason I decided to do this instead of innumerable other projects I could do is because of market factors and demand. You know, there's a large audience that isn't happy with the product they currently have. I personally have been playing Shadowrun since second edition back in 1982, 83, right? And have a full collection, and I'm a big fan of it. So that puts me in a good place to do this. And then you look at the market research. How many people are like fans of Shadowrun, you know? And so you go look at the Reddit size, you go look at the boards, and you make some decisions about how many copies you're able to sell, and you mark that against what it's going to cost you to produce a product. It really is a market research type of job. There are projects I would love to do, like an erotic literature where you explore a dungeon in a book and you've got a bunch of different passages. But when you look at the Kickstarters for those projects, they raise between $15,000 and $20,000 and don't have good post sales. So I have, you know, a daughter and a family I'm trying to support, and so you have to think about like what your costs versus return is going to be. And there's a big deal in the industry about, I mean, if people want you to stay in your lane. If you try and do something that's too far outside your specialty or your focus, people will just reject it because you need to have the support of the community that you're in to have a successful project. So I know it sounds a little boring, but you do have to look at the numbers. You have to look at like how many copies of things are being sold, what the margin on that is, what your likely expenses are going to be, and you have to put your babies aside. I have a time traveling adventure about spaceships in a galaxy where the players have full agency, but no matter what they do, they end up creating the situation. Nobody's going to publish that. It'll never make any money. You know, because the market for that is like some Troika players or old Spelljammer fans, and there just aren't enough of them to support, you know, a major release like that. And so you look at what the market needs and you do some research is really the answer.
So do you ever do a project where you're like, I don't care how much money this makes, or do you just not have the luxury for that?
I'm not successful enough. I'm currently running about one book a year. Right?
Okay.
And those books are very high quality. I put a lot of time into it. They're heavily illustrated. I don't think I have the leeway. Perhaps if I have a giant success, I would absolutely take a thing off and do something at cost that might not make any money because it's my darling, you know, something I love.
Right.
And there are plenty of authors who do that. Jacob Hurst publishes illustrated Jack Vance novels, right? I'm a huge Jack Vance fan, but that is what his success in other fields have allowed him to do. Like those baby projects, they don't raise the revenue that keeps the landlord happy. So unfortunately, it's a business, and if you're going to do it, like if you're just a hobbyist, like if I had another job, you should do whatever you want, put your passion into it, because that's what'll be successful. But in this, you have to find a place where your passion and business sense intersect, and you can do something that is authentically you, that the community also needs and wants and will support.
Excellent. That's a great answer.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for taking the
Hi,
time to talk
everybody.
to me.
Make sure you check out the Negative Space Trilogy. It's available on Amazon and Drive-Thru RPG.
And I will link to that in the description below.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.